Hi there, Sagittarius, Sagittarius Rising, and of course all of you Sagittarius Moon people out there. This is your weekly astrological land card horoscope for the week starting February 17th, 2020. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, should you ever wish to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Or of course you may also just simply follow the links below, or just open the down bar beneath this video and then follow the links below. So what is going on when it comes to your astrology over the course of this coming week? Well, on Thursday we've actually got Jupiter, the planet of wealth, good fortune, luck, abundance, expansion, and knowledge in your second house of earned income, as well as employment, your values, and your valuables, forming a gorgeous sextile to Neptune in your fourth house of home and family. Neptune being the planet of dreams, fantasy, as well as illusions, but also creativity and spirituality. And when we have Jupiter in a sextile to Neptune, there seems to be some kind of huge breakthrough coming for you as it relates to possibly a burst of a new opportunity to either increase your funds, your material resource funds, right, whether it's getting a new job coming through and allowing you to actually embark on a dream you've been holding on to since childhood, or quite possibly, with Jupiter sextile to Neptune, a breakthrough when it comes to your own household finances that allows for you to actually indulge some kind of fantasy that you've always wished to maybe have happen, only we get to start working on the beginning processes now. For instance, with Jupiter sextile Neptune, maybe you and a partner have always dreamed of building a house, and maybe you've always thought about wanting to have that happen in 10 years or 20 years or when you retire. And yet, as we get to Jupiter sextile Neptune, we may find out that it's not necessarily something that has to be planned for so far down the road. Whether this is, a gift or an opportunity that is allowing you to start beginning that process now, or getting that preparation done, whatever necessary preparations are underway, whatever dream you've got going on with your Neptunian household flow, it has a chance to actually crystallize and substantiate. Now, Jupiter and Neptune will be here between Thursday and Saturday, so it's important to stay here and have those conversations in earnest if this is what you really want. Jupiter is about expanding your opportunity to attract new resources and abundance from all kinds of different areas and all different spaces, not just through any one particular avenue. And this could also create a brand new one for you. On Friday, we've got Mars, recently moved into that second house of earned income and employment. Again, Mars is the planet of action, energy, passion, and conviction, sometimes conflict in the interest of knocking down walls and overcoming obstacles, forming a gorgeous trine to Uranus in your sixth house of work, your reputation, and your schedule, as well as your service to others and the teams that you're on. And it does look like a rapid turn when it comes to how you do your job. A rapid breakthrough, possibly something that could be chaotic in the beginning. Mars trine to Uranus is certainly not a light touch energy, even if it's positive in a trine. You have a chance to actually expedite the acquisition of wealth, or even expedite the increase in your professional or personal popularity, as it will start to generate more rewards and more abundance for you this week and even going into next. Should you be willing to take on the much more intense and, might I say, potentially disorganized workload that will be demanded of you at the end of this week and going into the beginning of next week, but I think it would be worth it. So before we move on to the cards, I do want to remind you all out there that within the next 24 hours I'm going to be putting up my Oversoul video, talking all about oversouls, oversoul groups, what that is in the cosmology of the soul's evolutionary process, and of course also talking about soul family, soulmates, spiritual kindred, as well as twin flames, and how that all actually comes together in the grander scheme of things. Now that'll be available on my main channel page, and you can always click on the down bar below to open up the links to my Deep Talks playlist, or simply click on my avatar beneath this video and scroll down to find it, okay? So within 24 hours of the upload of this video, you'll be seeing it. So come back. So, what is going on when it comes to your cards over the course of this coming week? Well, for your spiritual themes, we actually have the Eight of Swords in reverse. And the Eight of Swords in reverse is all about freedom. And in a big way, it's about letting go of things that ultimately have no interest or have no ability to actually be repaired. See, with the Eight of Swords reversed, we are cutting off from stories, from narratives, from cycles, looping realities and looping experiences that seem to be just kind of stuck on repeat. And with the Eight of Swords reversed, we have a chance to cut ourselves free. But we have to make sure that we are maintaining a bit of discipline about this, right? Not everyone's on that kind of level of consciousness. Some people still think loops are a source of personal security. And with the Eight of Swords in reverse, a lot of you out there are most likely going to need to know when to start taking some time mixing it up. The Eight of Swords reverse can also indicate freedom from a bond that you have that's been holding you down. For those of you, this bond may be not necessarily to a person. Sometimes it is a friend or a family member, or maybe something that we're tied to by contract or in some kind of legalese. Or maybe this is some kind of freedom from something that you've been carrying as a burden on your back or agreeing to keep doing that you have no reason to have any business doing anymore. For the influx of what's coming in, well, we've got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And this is going to be a week of some destabilization, as the Ace of Pentacles in reverse also starts to unmake or uncreate a lot of things that are already going on in your life experience. Now, with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, it's important to understand that what's being unmade or uncreated was already on a short lifespan. The Ace of Pentacles reversed is an imbalance of the forces of nature. Something was not going to make it because it was not in balance. In a lot of cases, this can indicate something that may have been too poorly nourished, or maybe a lot of its energies were dispersed, or focusing on one thing or another. Its energy was lopsided. The Ace of Pentacles reverse can sometimes indicate now is a time where we see the deterioration of things that have been stagnating or unstable, and it might feel like a very somber, maybe even possibly mournful week, because in a lot of cases we might see why something's falling apart, why something's not working, and we might wish it weren't so. We might wish we could save it from itself, or maybe if it were, again, a person or something happening to somebody else around us, we might wish, that we could do something about it to, help it get by, or make it okay, or make it behave as though it were in balance, even though it's not. We can't. It's about letting it go this week, releasing that which is, again, maybe disjointed, distorted, unbalanced, because it's going to destabilize anyway. Might as well let it go with grace. As we go on to the outflux of what's going away, we've got the Magician card reversed. Good riddance. The Magician card reversed going away is all about the release of, or the end of a cycle where we are having to deal with people or maybe influences that are incapable of handling the level of responsibility that their position, or maybe their role, or maybe just who they are, dictates, and they can't do it. Because the Magician card reverse can often show up and talk about incompetence. It can also talk about, yes, a lack of ability, a lack of skill. Maybe it's a lack of life skills. Maybe it's just an inability to perform in a situation where we're constantly overcompensating for them. We're constantly losing time, energy, resources, mana, overcompensating for somebody who doesn't belong there, right? It's almost like trying to carry a level 56 through Blackwing Lair when you know, it's kind of like, no, go back to Skolemans, honey. That's for all the WoW players out there. Because it ultimately, there's no point in doing it anymore. The Magician card reverse can often indicate a situation where we have to let go of that which will not take care of itself. And that's a big theme of this week, because we're trying to regain our resources, regain our freedom. As we get down to the mundane, for your material concerns, we have the Six of Wands in reverse, and a lot of you Sagittarius people are getting a second chance. It might not always feel like a second chance, however, because the Six of Wands reversed means we have a chance to backpedal away from a decision that we've made that was maybe an error in judgment. Now, we could have had high hopes for this. Okay, we might be eating some crow this week. This might not feel good, but you know what? In the best interest of all concerned, maybe it is the best thing we can do to backpedal away. There is an out being offered to you from something that is proving to be unstable or costly or not worth it. Interestingly enough, with the Six of Wands reversed, that out is being offered with a better alternative. And this week, when it comes to your finances and when it comes to your professional life, and even when it comes to all areas with the Ace of Pentacles reversed and the Eight of Swords reversed, some things are just not worth sticking out. As we go to the external, when it comes to friends and your relatives and maybe the other people in your life, well, we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. And with the Eight of Wands in reverse, this is a time where a lot of you Sagittarius people are, I think, taking a bit of a breath. We're taking a step back. I feel like it feels like when it comes to friends and when it comes to relatives, there's something going on where you are trying to maybe get something from going too, from going too far too fast. Now, this could be something that somebody is doing in a haphazard fashion. Maybe somebody is volunteering you for something you don't want to do. Or quite possibly you might be feeling like you're being pushed or swayed in a direction that is not good for you, it's not good for your partner, and you're kind of trying to regain control of something that's gotten a little bit out of whack. Because with the Eight of Wands reversed, a lot of the times we're seeing a lot of misfires, we're seeing people acting very quickly, very impulsively, without much thought, not living very intentionally at all, by the way. It's just really more about mood to mood. And I think that this week a lot of you are deciding that it's time to really kind of sit back, come back to the eye of the storm with your sweetheart and those of you that you know are actually good for it. And yeah, let's divest a little bit. There's something happening here where it's almost like, you've got to cut the rope here because something's about to fly off into the sun. You don't want everything to go with it. As we get to the relationships area when it comes to love and romance, we have the High Priestess in reverse. And it does look like there's something going on in your love life where it feels like you're actually helping out a partner where you're seeing them actually getting manipulated, which is very interesting. The High Priestess reverse can often show up as a manipulative influence, whether deliberately or not. Let's not forget, sometimes she just doesn't know what she's talking about, and she believes she does. And so maybe she's not manipulating, she's just spreading misinformation. But when it comes to your partner, or maybe even something you catch with somebody new if you're available, the High Priestess reversed is indicating something is messing with their head. And it's actually starting to, it almost feels like she's either gaslighting them or she's putting weird thoughts in. She's kind of, it's not relating to your relationship at all, but it's almost like getting them to sort of betray their true expression, betray their, their own path. It's almost like that High Priestess reversed is trying to simply become sort of this manipulative unmother kind of character in their life. Might not be female, by the way, but I am looking at the High Priestess reversed. So, this week I think you have a chance to nip this in the bud. I do think that maybe just a second opinion, or maybe trying to point out the lack of logic or reason in whatever these arguments are, will be good enough. But yeah, I think that we have to stop a brainwashing in progress. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hell, y'all know I appreciate it. And if you ever wish to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.